Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth their time and bandwidth. Today's game is Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight. Hey, they made another Persona dancing game, this time based around Persona 3, and it's functionally identical to the Persona 5 one, except it's tracklist. Are Atlas selling out? Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight is available on PlayStation 4 and PS Vita. It MSRP's at $30, but this is another instance where you should get it on sale and in the bundle, and the game is about 7 to 8 hours to complete. So what exactly is Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight? Well, it's a rhythm game that's virtually identical to the Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight game, which I've already reviewed, which makes me wonder why the hell I made 2 reviews instead of 1. Well, you're here anyway, so don't worry, I'll try and keep this both informative and interesting. Probably. The story is the other half of the Persona 5 dancing game, where basically the Velvet Room attendants from P3 and P5 wanted their crew to have a dance-off to see who is the coolest. While the P5 crew got Justine and Carolyn, yawn, we are lucky enough to get Elizabeth instead, who is a huge doofus and is determined to win no matter how questionable the means. So yeah, there's really no story. You're going to dance to unlock social links with the various crew members, up to 8 levels for each, which rewards you by advancing the overall story, as well as providing you with short scenes for the crew and some additional costumes. These challenges are the driving point of the actual gameplay, which is still just quick play because these games are simple. The gameplay is identical to all the other Persona dancing games. You have 6 spots you'll have to tap to the beat, often including holding multiples at once and so on, as well as an optional scratch bar that you'll activate by bumping an analog stick or by doing the correct thing and turning on the option that lets you use the shoulder buttons. And while you're in the settings, make sure you turn off character voices during dancing unless you want to go insane. The track list has 25 songs, which is one less than P5 for whatever reason, but they're far more diverse than Persona 5's, as it has a larger bank to pull from. The game is also more challenging right out of the gate, with more complex songs even on normal, meaning you are much less likely to get bored. And that's it. I went into more in depth in the Persona 5 dancing review, so I don't see the point of repeating myself. This is the same game, just reskinned with different songs, and what really matters is whether or not this game is better or worse than the other one, which I guess we will address now. So what do I like about Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight? Well, the song list here is fantastic. It is just as strong as the Persona 4 song list in my opinion, which was already great, and this is mostly because they can pull from the Persona 3 animation, Fez, Portable, Arena, and the DS spin-offs. The type of music here also gels much better with a rhythm game experience, as they are more thumpy and less jazzy. Additionally, the core mechanics are still solid and fun, with that perfect mix of it's easy enough to pick up, but with a high skill ceiling for masters. And lastly, the third point is Elizabeth. Yes, she gets her own point. While the twins in Persona 5 took this whole ridiculous plot way too seriously, Elizabeth's absolutely dorky approach to everything is infectiously entertaining, and she elevates every cutscene she's in by admitting the whole thing is honestly kind of stupid. When it comes to the bad, while the social links with Elizabeth are definitely elevated, the rest are just as dull as the Persona 5 ones, exacerbated by the fact that Ken and Akihiko are really boring when you just strip them down to their anime tropes, which this game does. Additionally, similar to the Persona 5 one, the fact that there's really only quick play with some light challenges supplementing it feels very barren, especially for a release that was MSRP'd at $30. And lastly, like, Persona 3 is a game about existential dread and the inevitability and acceptance of one's death, and that game's tone is incredibly somber and really honestly kind of harrowing, especially considering how that game ends. So isn't it a little weird to see these characters like dancing it up, especially the main character? Is this just me? It's probably just me. I'm overthinking it. This is my cons list low, so I'm including it. As you know, 8 games here on a 3-point scale, must play, maybe consider, don't bother. Yeah, Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight is still a maybe consider. It is absolutely the better half of this duology of games, with a wider range of tracks that work better for beat-heavy rhythm game music. The fact that this is basically a copy-paste of the Persona 5 game, or vice versa, however they made it, is a bit alarming, with even the challenges being the same. But you know what? The music's still good, and the game's still fun, so if you like Persona 3, you're probably gonna like this. And that's all I got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight, I was right, and no one watched the Persona 5 dancing video, but I'm still doing a Persona 3 one because I feel like it. But if you've played these games, let me know. And if you like Persona 3 and rhythm games, check this one out.